Born October 11, 1940, Gaylord Spence grew up in San Bernardino, California. His unmistakable and always ready smile was his trademark from the time he was born. As a kid, Gaylord was usually active and involved in something. And of his many achievements, the one that was most memorable and prestigious was earning an Eagle Scout badge, which entitled him to attend the National Boy Scout Jamboree held only once every 4 years. Gaylord graduated from Pacific High School in San Bernardino and attended Crafton College, where he took classes in computer training. He ultimately carved out a lifelong career in the food industry, eventually working his way into management. He opened the first Stater Brothers Market in Orange County, and after 14 years with Stater Brothers, he moved on to the Hostess Company, where he stayed for over 30 years until he retired. In 1960, he was introduced to a gal named Diane Bizier through a mutual friend when Diane attended their church. Gaylord was singing in the choir that day, but he noticed her, and she noticed back. He got Diane's number from their friend and called her the very next day. They were married October 28th of the following year and remained together for nearly 60 years. Together, they had a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. They also raised 2 boys, Chris and Lance. Friends recall that Gaylord had a great sense of humor and a genuine, hearty laugh. He was always a clown, but also the go-to guy, the one you would turn to if you really needed to get something done. And he never said no. In the mid-90s, the Spences moved from their home in Anaheim to Highland in order to care for Gaylord's aging parents. They moved to Sun Lakes in 1999, and Gaylord retired in 2005. Although he no longer had a 9-to-5 job, Gaylord was busier than ever. Some friends convinced him to join the Inland Sound Barbershop Chorus, and Gaylord's performing career blossomed. He sang in the Sun Lakes Chorale, Barbershop Chorus, and with a group called the Notables. He performed in the Follies, That's Entertainment, and in the Sun Lakes Playhouse Theater productions of Oklahoma, South Pacific, and Hotbed Hotel, to name just a few of his credits. He was also on the board of directors of the Sun Lakes Charitable Trust Foundation, the Men's Golf Club, and the Inland Barbershop Chorus. Together, the couple enjoyed bowling, golf, and spending time with the wonderful friends they acquired over the years.
Gaylord and I worked together in the performing area. He sang in the chorale, the Notables, a co-ed group of performers, and the Men of Note. We also worked together with That's Entertainment and the Follies. One thing people might not know about Gaylord is that when I first retired, he found out I was a choreographer, and he asked if I would add a dance to a couple of his songs. That was the first time in our performances that we had song and dance together in the same acts, and we ended up doing several of those. Gaylord was also very active behind the scenes. He would make the programs and the tickets and the big posters for our shows. So he was great on the computer, and he also would work on the music for people, any sort of editing that needed to be done on the computer.
So pleased to be here from my old friend Gaylord. I'm going to speak about Gaylord and his barbershop singing. He was known throughout Sun Lakes as a great singer, but we'd also know him as a barbershop singer. I first met him when Dolph Mason brought him to a Tuesday night meeting of the Inland Sound Chorus. We were meeting in Redlands in those days. Now, in the barbershop world, there's 4 parts to be sung. Very high part, the tenor, and then down the scale we have the lead, and then further on down we have the baritone. Now, the baritone's a musician's part, very difficult, and finally the bass. Now, most of us sing the part that our voice is naturally for. Occasionally, you find that rare individuals who have a range, they can sing the highest and the lowest both. Gaylord was one of those rare individuals. I've only known a few. He chose to sing the baritone part because it was very complicated. Now, I'll tell you a little quick story about how I got singing a quartet with Gaylord. Saturday, I'm watching TV, phone rings. Gaylord says, "Bill, what you doing?" I said, "Well, not much, just waiting for the golf to come on." He says, "Well, Joel Handon is sick, and we were supposed to sing in the show tonight." You know the song. You have the costume. Would you consider doing that? I said, well, I guess so. 2 hours later, I found myself standing out here in front of Sun Lakes on the stage, bright lights in my face, just singing my heart out with my old buddy Gaylord. Wow. We sang together as a quartet, as a chorus, with the notables, with the chorale, all throughout Sun Lakes. Never missed another That's Entertainment show, never missed the Follies, the chorale. What a wonderful time. One word, awesome singer.
Gaylord was an active golfer who participated on our board for many years. Absolutely the best treasurer we ever had. Totally dedicated to making sure we stayed on budget, and we really are going to miss him, not only on the board, but on the course.
Gaylord Spence was a wonderful man. He was very involved in the charity from years ago, maybe 10 or 12 years ago. From the time we lived here, he was secretary on the charity board, and his minutes were always so good, and he accepted criticism from anybody. In fact, if somebody heard it differently, he would change the minutes and make them just so. But he was very active and very involved.
We're here for Gaylord Spence. Here at Sun Lakes, he was somewhat of a universal man. Whenever he joined a club or a group, he became active in it. Always, that was Gaylord. And we were delighted to have him aboard. Let's face it, he was in the golf, he was in charity, he was in the entertainment field. He was a typical Sun Laker, and we will miss him dearly.
We were committed to move from Colorado Springs back to Southern California, where I grew up, and had a high school reunion that we held every 5 years. We bumped in again to Gaylord and Diane Spence. Diane and I had gone to grade school through high school together, so it was kind of fun to see them every 5 years. Well, at that reunion, the word was out that we were coming back to California, and prices in Southern California were really tough, and we didn't know if we could afford to come back. Gaylord said, I know a pretty well kept secret. Why don't you come see us at Sun Lakes? And that we did. Everyone has a story about how they got here, and this is mine. We came and visited Gaylord and Diane and bought a house that day, and the rest is history. So I've enjoyed working with Gaylord. He steps up whenever he's needed. I've worked with him on many different projects, and as you heard, he served really well on the Sun Lakes Country Club Charitable Trust Board. For that, we're really thankful.
Gaylord Spence passed away on March 12, 2021, but his memories and his contributions will live on.